Welcome back to Vinyl Review. So today's episode will be a bit of a special episode because I don't actually have a full-on studio release by this artist. I only have 2 compilation albums, but saying that, they are one of my favourite artists out there. Well, they were out there, and I do listen to one of these albums a lot, which is the one I'm going to talk about mainly. So the one I listen to a lot is True Love Ways, which is bright white, so we're going to have lighting issues, but there we go. And it's with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Now, I was kind of hoping the record was this nice white as well, but it's not, but I'm not complaining. I love the picture of Buddy and his guitar, and I just love this design. Now, the mix of 50s rock and roll and orchestral music on that record is just superb, and I love it from start to finish. I love Buddy Holly's vocals, his singing is superb. And for Buddy, his final studio sessions in New York signalled a new musical direction, venturing into the silky smooth instrumentation, arrangements and production of classical orchestration. I believe this beautiful recording of Buddy and the Cricket songs will become a favourite of fans everywhere. Marie Eleanor Holly. Surprised I read all that, but anyway. So it's got a write-up about the recording of the songs in Buddy Holly's life and how they chose the songs and then who wrote the songs, things like that. And the record is actually the special bit because the record is really cool. And then in the front. So on this album we've got True Love Ways, which starts off with this splendid and beautiful I don't know what instruments they're like violins and just this orchestral. It's lovely. It Doesn't Matter Anymore, Every Day, which has the unfortunate, now I'm not a child, for the percussion of Every Day, I don't know his name, but the drummer for his backup band, or the Crickets, was slapping his thighs, which makes a sound, but I'm not going to go there. I love Buddy Holly, doesn't matter. Heartbeat is an amazing song. Something about I can't remember the lyrics, that's why. Raining in My Heart is the song I'm thinking of. Raining in my heart. Oh Boy, I love Oh Boy. All of my love, all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. Oh. Sorry, I'll stop. Rave On. Well, everything you say and do. Words of Love, which I first heard the Beatles cover on Please Please Me, but it is an amazing song, and we'll get into it later, but the Beatles adored Buddy Holly. That'll Be the Day, my favourite song, not on this album, but of Buddy Holly's career, which is just great. That'll be the day when I die. Peggy Sue, sorry, stop. Moon Dreams is great, and my favourite song on this album, because of the orchestral and the 50s rock, it comes together just beautifully, is the last track on the album, Maybe Baby. I love the way it starts with this sort of 40s orchestra, big band orchestra, and then it kicks in with Buddy Holly's guitar, and it's just superb. I absolutely love this album, and this album, to get it to focus, is definitely worth a listen. Now, when I got that album, it came with a code that I didn't need, so I offered the code out in a giveaway. Now, someone just last week, I think it was, asked me for the code, and I said, I'm sorry, but I don't know where that code is now. You know, this was months ago. You're kind of late. I didn't close it because nobody fucking entered back then anyway. The other one that I have here is a rough guide to Buddy Holly and the Crickets, which, I mean, the white, okay, I don't know why that's in there, but basic label. I don't know, just that was inside it. The Jam EP, for some reason. That needs to find a home. So the songs on this album, we have Rave On, which is great, Not Fade Away, It Doesn't Matter Anymore, Peggy Sue, Every Day, That'll Be the Day, Oh Boy, Words of Love, Raining in My Heart, Heartbeat, Learning the Game, Crying, Waiting, Hoping, True Love Ways, Blue Days, Black Nights, Well Alright, Love Me, Moon Dreams, You're So Square, Baby I Don't Care. Now, this one's great because it's got a write-up on Buddy Holly's life, and it tells you when the songs were recorded. So, for example, Oh Boy was recorded in 1957, which is it's just great to read, and just a lovely picture of the band. Now, Buddy Holly's life would sadly be... Sorry everyone, I was interrupted. Now, Buddy Holly's life would sadly be taken away at the ripe old... I think he was only 22 when he lost his life, which was, you know, it's obviously horrible to think about. They were charted, so they were on a tour, and it wasn't even a scheduled tour. It was just an extra tour that they were doing because the record company or the managers wanted a bit more money. And I think even the date, the venue they were supposed to play wasn't even on that unscheduled tour. It was because they found a venue they could fill and get more money. Now, Buddy Holly was there, obviously. Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and Dion from Dion and the Belmonts, which I thought was very interesting because I love his music. They were all on these tour buses, but they weren't like these expensive, lavish tour buses. They were converted school buses, or I think it might have been prison, but no, they were school buses that were converted, and they were in Wisconsin and like the north states of the US, so it was absolutely freezing, and they couldn't, they didn't want to spend another night in these freezing tour buses. And Buddy Holly himself, it was his idea to take a plane because it would save him some time so he could do some laundry and get some clean clothes for the next gig, which that's why they had the plane, and it was miserable. Now, so as I was saying, they didn't, he just wanted some clean laundry, and the buses were horrible on that cold winter night. One of Buddy Holly's crickets got frostbite, it was so bad. So, I don't know the story in full, I apologise, but I think it was Richie Valens who wasn't even supposed to be on the plane, but he really didn't want to spend another night on the tour bus, and Buddy Holly, who knew Richie Valens was going to spend another night on the tour bus, was mocking him, which was just funny. But Richie Valens, there was a coin toss with one of Buddy Holly's... No, I'm getting it wrong. Buddy Holly offered the seat on the plane to Dion from Dion and the Belmonts, but Dion refused it for some reason I can't remember. And then, so it went to one of Buddy Holly's, one of Buddy Holly's band members, who then Richie Valens wanted on the plane, and they had a coin toss. Now, through sheer unluck, Richie Valens, or whoever it was, I'm sorry, I forget, got on the plane, and it was a really dark and snowstorm night. The pilot who flew the plane shouldn't have been flying the plane at the time. That was a mistake, and it's believed the pilot was too inexperienced to fly the plane when they crashed, and it took the lives of everyone on board. So, and that's the day the music died, which it's crazy to think how different the 60s and music in general would have been if Buddy Holly and these other artists had continued to live and create music, and they would have influenced the Beatles. Uh, at this time in Liverpool, now Buddy Holly is his own separate thing from the Beatles. The Beatles are obviously amazing, but they have a way of just consuming, the 60s bands. You hear about the Beatles and the Stones because they were the biggest, but besides the point. Um, the Beatles at the time were in Liverpool in 1959 and they were called the Quarrymen. And when they heard what had happened to Buddy Holly and the Crickets, they changed their band name from the Quarrymen to the Beatles. Now, the Beatles are the most influential band of all time. No one can argue against that. So, this dude influenced them, and that makes him special in his own right, as well as people like Elvis and these 50 artists that sometimes get overlooked. I think it's special. And interestingly, again, Buddy Holly was the first artist ever to have, he had a bass guitar, a lead guitar, a rhythm guitar, and drums in his band. He was the first to do that, and so that influenced every other band. And he started that, which is just fantastic. But I'm rambling on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.